How's it going, y'all? If it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. If it's not, well, I welcome you back to the channel. My name is Adam and I am the host of this here channel. This is my second channel that I have. My first one is called Maple Monkey Media. Where I'm sitting right now is my off-grid 12x12 cabin that I'm building over the past couple years. So if you want to head over there and check out more off-grid related content and full build videos, all kinds of stuff over there on my main channel, Maple Monkey Media. Just wanted to hop on this channel since I've been down here at the cabin for coming on around 4 or 5 days or so. Just wanted to do a short little video or long video, however long it takes, I'm not sure. But if you don't like talking, it's pretty much just going to be me talking. So just a little heads up, a little forewarning that just going to be kind of a little chill and chat. So I just wanted to get this up there for anybody else that kind of is looking to go off-grid or has the dreams of going off-grid and being self-sufficient and self-reliant. Although I'm not quite there yet, I'm a lot closer than I was at this time last year. So I just wanted to hop on and give some tips and some of my insights that I've learned over the past, coming up on 2 years now, on trying to build this cabin and be self-sustainable on my little piece of property that I have here. So one of the things that I've kind of noticed when I'm building, don't know if other people have had this happen as well, but when I'm building this cabin, or when I was building, and I am still currently building it, things I would not do things or build things waiting for other things. So like, for instance, this back wall, I have it insulated, but the next step is to put on some vapor barrier, and then I have cedar tongue and groove. But I'm kind of at a standstill because I still have to decide if I'm going to wire it in for plugs and electrical. I might have a generator hookup. So if that's the case, then I can't really go ahead and clad in the wall and sheath it all in, because if I do decide to do that, then I'll obviously have to take that stuff back off. So different things like that, if you're being cognizant on building, some things like that may slow you down. I remember when I was building the floor, it kind of was a paycheck to paycheck build. Didn't really have that much money saved up, so I could only build with the money that I have saved and set aside. So when I was building the floor, I was at a standstill for probably a month or almost 2 months because of the price of materials for my insulation. Although I had all of the wood that I needed for the walls and everything, I couldn't go ahead and build on top of my floor until I had the insulation to build on top of that. So that slowed me down quite considerably. So you have to take that in mind when you're building and kind of take it with a grain of salt. Where you're ordering in some things that may affect other things down the line, and you may be able to do some things beforehand, but then once you get those done, you may have to wait for other things to kind of catch back up. So you're always playing kind of juggling act kind of thing. Another thing, I think I mentioned it in either one of my videos that I have posted on my main channel or coming up. I have lots of content here to post on my main channel, is your amenities, water and using the bathroom and stuff like that. You really take it for granted when you don't have it. So down here at the cabin, I don't have any holding tanks as of yet for any water. And being down here 4 or 5 days, I'm just using my babbling brook to clean my dishes, to clean up myself. But it sure would be nice to have a holding tank of some sort for some water. And then the same thing goes for food prep. When you don't have a spot for food prep, it all makes life so much harder, and it's unmotivating to cook your food. I'm trying to have to use chairs and the floor and whatever surface that I could use to prep my food and to cook my food on. So it's kind of disheartening when you want to go ahead and you want to cook a big old fancy meal. It's kind of disheartening because you don't really have a spot to prep it up. At least that's what I found, at least. Now, mind you, I'm not letting it stop me. We're gonna still continue on ahead with all this stuff. Right behind me here, along this back wall, that's where my kitchen's gonna go. Don't have anything yet. Still have to build the counter and the cabinets and all that stuff for storage and prep area. So that's gonna be a huge relief when that comes. Same thing. If you don't have all the materials that you need beforehand, then obviously you're going to have to wait and scout some things out, especially if you're doing a budget build. This is definitely a budget build for me. I saved money by getting my lumber milled up from a local guy here instead of paying astronomical prices from the hardware store. I have my windows, my 3 front windows here that I'm looking at. You can't see in the video yet, but if you check out other content, they'll be there. I managed to source those out from Facebook. Same, I have another window over here that's beside my door, another window over here that's going to be beside my kitchen area, and my actual doors itself. So both of those windows I sourced. One of them I got for free on Facebook. The other one I paid like $25, something like that, nothing crazy. And then same with my doors. I managed to source 2 doors from a local junkyard. Perfectly fine, just needed new casing, maybe a little bit of new paint. One of the windows has a crack, but still works completely fine, and saved me from $200 to $500, if not more, for doors. So just be cognizant of where you're looking for materials. Scoop up materials when you can. Even if you don't think you're going to use them in your building, what you're going to be doing next in the process, who knows what you're going to be able to use them with down the line. I have a window that I picked up at the front of the yard that has just been kind of sitting there for the last year. I was going to put it in here up top. There's a second sleeping loft up top as well. Sourced 2 windows, just little shed windows up there from my local hardware store as well, super cheap. But I was going to put that window up top. Didn't do it, used 2 other windows instead. So now that window, I'm going to be using it for a greenhouse project or something like that. So don't throw away anything. Always try and repurpose things. Reduce, reuse, recycle, as the saying goes. Not going to get too deep into any tips for buying land, just because I already have a video of that. I think that's on my main channel, Maple Monkey Media, is where I put together I think it was 9 tips for when you're ready to buy some land, and some of those tips that I wish I would have taken into consideration when I was purchasing this land. I don't regret anything, that's for sure, but it definitely would have came in handy going through the different seasons and trying to figure out a spot where the cabin's going to go on this piece of land. So if you want, definitely go check that out. I think it could help out people that are looking into buy land for the self-sustainable lifestyle. Some things that you may not think of before, or maybe you have, I'm not sure. Another thing that I found, if you're not really expecting it, that's something that's going to eat up your money, is small little items, small knickknacks that you need. Let's say you need some hurricane ties, you need a box of nails, you need some screws. All of that stuff costs money, and if you go out with only $50 kind of to your name, chances are it's not going to be able to get you that many things. So you have to keep that in mind when you're going out and purchasing things. If all that you have is a little bit of money, you got to try and make that money spread out as far as possible. In one of my videos here that I'm going to be posting on my main channel, I go out and I was doing the second landing for my staircase, ran out of nails, and needed to go to town to get some nails. So I have a local hardware kind of surplus store that I go to, but just so happens that the guy was closed the day that I went there. And so I couldn't get any of my nails. I could get a box of nails for around $5 or $6 as opposed to what I had to pay that day. It was coming on, it was about almost $25 for a small box of 125 nails. So just be cognizant of that. In the area you're going to build, if there's a town close by, be sure to check out any of the local hardware stores, surplus stores, or when you're in the bigger cities, definitely go check out those surplus stores as well. Chances are when you get out into the smaller, more rural towns, especially when you get into mom and pop shops, I find that sometimes, not all the times, that a lot of the prices may be a little bit more than if you were to go when you're in the city. Something that I've had to keep telling myself over the course of this year, 2 years of this whole off-grid cabin project is just don't kick yourself in the butt. If you work, go. I mean, it's fine if that's what you want to do, but if you find yourself just working and you're not finding any joy and anything in that you're doing, that's kind of why I started this whole project and this whole lifestyle, is because I wanted to create a more self-sustainable lifestyle with more joy and happiness. So at some points in times in my build, I would have to take a step back because, oh, excuse me, I just had a sausage for lunch. because at some points in my build, I was getting frustrated with the progress or lack thereof progress that seemed to be taking place. So if that ever happens, I would just take a couple days off, just go, not even pick up a nail, not even pick up a hammer, don't cut any boards, just leave the property and go off somewhere for a couple days to kind of just rejuvenate yourself and get yourself back onto the why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be off-grid? Why do you want to be self-sustainable? And I find that'll put some fuel back in your fire too. Life takes over sometimes, and sometimes you're not going to be able to go as fast as you like to with certain projects. Like I just said, don't let that discourage you, especially when you're building away and other things pop up. Or for instance, I was building this cabin here, and I knew that it wasn't going to get done when I first started it before the last winter, so I didn't have another place to stay if I wanted to stay down here on the property. So what I did was I just built literally what I call the hobo hut, and it was just a little shanty to get me out of the weather for when I was building, and I stayed in that all last winter through snowstorms, through -20, through -30. So you're going to have to sacrifice some things, especially some necessities maybe at the beginning when you start building. Make a list, sit down, and kind of think of some of the necessities or amenities or conveniences, whatever word you want to use, that you can have, that you want to have, that you can't live without, and then some that you can live without. When you start your journey, it may come to realize, or you may come to realize, that you can actually live without a lot more than you think you need. I am definitely a minimalist, and after traveling the world for a couple years and living out of a backpack, it's crazy what you can get used to. You don't need as much as you think you do, and don't let stuff like that kind of get you down. If you're falling behind the whim, pivot, reevaluate the situation, and drop some amenities or conveniences to try and get yourself forward to that goal. Well, I just wanted to get these little bit of brain thoughts in my brain hole up there onto camera. So hopefully this will help somebody out there in their off-grid self-sustainable journey. Muchly appreciate y'all checking out the video. Keep that stick on the ice. There is no failure if you just keep on going, and your dreams only have to make sense to one person. And that one person is who you look at every day when you look in the mirror. It's you. They only have to make sense to you. So keep on trucking forward. Get after those dreams. You can't start at the finish line. This is Adam signing off here from the channel. God bless, and have a very blessed rest of your week and weekend. Woo, 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 woo. See you next time, y'all.